am Steve Gruber, ready to fight for you from this foxhole of freedom I call home, giving you better analysis insight than anyone else. Listen, we're on the relentless pursuit of truth. Join me, would you? Here are 3 big things you need to know to start your day today. Number 1, could Joe Biden be faced with Joe Manchin on the other side running as a third-party presidential candidate? The idea has Democrats squirming and Republicans saying, yes, please. Number 2, the clock is just about run out for the tourist submarine lost on its way to the Titanic. 5 people on board. Search efforts have been massive and futile. That's the way it is. And number 3, for just one day, former special counsel John Durham testified on Capitol Hill, and the longtime federal prosecutor laid out the problems with the entire investigation into former President Donald Trump and the baseless allegations it was predicated on. Democrats spent the day trying to smear the man who, prior to being appointed, was considered to be among the most honest, hardworking, and effective prosecutors anywhere in America. Looking at the report he generated and the indictments it yielded, that still seems to be true. Expect though, that he'll be attacked. And expect the dishonest partisan hacks that want to tar and feather a man who spent 40 years in service to the United States. And it began with some very important points, that the Trump collusion narrative had absolutely no foundation at all. Yeah, that's where it began. John Durham says there was never any evidence, none, of collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia. I say none. Listen.
You wrote in your report, quote, based on the evidence gathered in the multiple exhaustive and costly federal investigations of these matters, including the instant investigation, neither U.S. law enforcement nor the intelligence community appears to have possessed any actual evidence of collusion in their holdings at the commencement of the Crossfire investigation. To date, has any evidence of collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia ever been uncovered?
I mean, there is information, obviously, in the report that was prepared by Director Mueller and whatnot. But as to collusion or conspiracy, I'm not aware of any.
And let me stop you. When the FBI opened Crossfire Hurricane, that's the issue at hand, it did not have any information that anyone in the Trump campaign had ever been in contact with Russian intelligence officials. Isn't that right?
As we wrote in the report, we talked to the director of the CIA, the deputy director of the CIA, the director of NSA, and people within the FBI, and there was no such information that they had in their holdings at the time they opened Crossfire Hurricane.
This is critically important because for years, people like California Congressman Adam Schiff, we'll get back to him today, by the way, ran around claiming he had evidence that Russia had concluded with Donald Trump and his campaign to impact the outcome of the 2016 election. None of that was true. Not ever. Every time he said, "Oh, I've seen the documents. We've got the evidence." He never had squat. What we learned was that Congressman Schiff and others were willing to use their powerful positions, including his as House Intelligence Committee chair, to spin a dishonest web of propaganda to lead people to believe things that were absolutely not true. And what's really frightening is that Schiff and a number of those socialist Democrats in his orbit don't care. They think what they did was okay. In fact, they believe what they did was right because they were trying to protect us from President Trump, when really they were the enemy the whole time. And Schiff remains defiant, even as Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna is filing a privileged resolution which would require the House to vote on censoring Schiff again, which they did, by the way, and which he was. He doesn't care. Adam Schiff proved beyond any doubt Wednesday that his delusions about his own censure are very revealing about what a little man he really is. Listen to this.
To my Republican colleagues who introduced this resolution, I thank you. You honor me with your enmity. You flatter me with this falsehood. You who are the authors of a big lie about the last election must condemn the truth tellers, and I stand proudly before you.
Truth tellers. Spineless, feckless weasel who lies with ease and grace. Meanwhile, Durham was hammered by the left and put on a pedestal by the right, but he said it is the rank-and-file FBI special agents and support staff that are coming to him on a regular basis concerned about the state of the agency and its future. It's a big story. Durham discussed the FBI agents that are embarrassed by the entire smear job on Donald Trump. Listen to this.
Let me give you some real-life views on that. I have had any number of FBI agents who I've worked with over the years. Some have retired, some are still in place, who have come to me and apologized for the manner in which that investigation was undertaken. I take that seriously. These are good, hardworking, the majority of people in the FBI, decent human beings who swear under their oaths to abide by the law and the like. And I think that exemplifies of the concern here. There were investigative activities undertaken or not undertaken here, which raised real concerns about whether or not the law was followed, the policies in place, the FBI were followed.
Yeah, but the Democrats were having no part of it, accusing Durham of being part of the problem, even accusing him of trying to protect and defend Donald Trump through his entire investigation. Of course, they have no more evidence of that than they did of collusion. And when his reputation was attacked, Durham drew applause for a pitch-perfect response to one radical Democrat from Tennessee, Congressman Steve Cohen, who tried to smear John Durham. Well, it didn't go all that well, now did it? Listen to this.
Tried to follow your report, Mr. Donald Trump Jr. would have called it a nothing burger. You got no convictions, you got nothing. It was all set up to hurt the Mueller report, which was correct and was redacted, to hurt the Bidens and to help Trump. And you were a part of it. You have a good reputation. You had a good reputation. That's why the two Democrats supported you. But the longer you hold on to Mr. Barr and this report that Mr. Barr gave you as special counsel, your reputation will be damaged. As everybody's reputation who gets involved with Donald Trump is damaged, he's damaged goods. There's no good dealing with him because you will end up on the bottom of a pyre. I yield back the balance of my time.
Sure.
Can we presume the gentleman's undecided on how he feels about the former president?
Yeah.
Gentlemen, witness can respond.
Yeah, my concern about my reputation is with the people who I respect and my family and my Lord. And I'm perfectly comfortable with my reputation with them, sir.
Well said. God bless you.
Like I said, a pitch-perfect response. I don't respect you, is what he's saying. I have no respect for you or anybody who conducts themselves like you do, sir. Durham put on quite a show. Sticking to the truth, not straying into the weeds, clearly not a partisan at all, in fact. And yet there was just one day of Durham. Why? One day. So the Democrats just spent as much time as they could, wasting our time, talking about nothing of any importance whatsoever, filibustering the whole day away, and smearing him as well. But we're not done here. Yeah, Adam Schiff was censured, as he should be. Too bad there was no financial penalty as first proposed. We'll have more of that after the break. Thank you for being here. It's the Steve Gruber Show.